Ugh. All right. Yeah, I guess we'll just do this. All right. Drew Brees doesn't know what he's talking about. And he's going to do some patriotism schlock. Of course, protesting. I mean, protesting is like quite literally American. I mean, frankly, insurrection is historically American, if we want to like keep it real here. So here is Drew Brees missing the point and reminding people why Kaepernick was blackballed and his career was destroyed for doing this. For all these assholes whining and complaining about this, you could have supported Kaepernick for years. Instead, they destroyed his career.
What Drew Brees does here is exactly why the NFL paid all that money to have them, or the Pentagon paid the NFL all that money to do the patriotism shows before the games. This is the product that they were looking for.
No, that's really important. That all that stuff, like those flyovers and everything, was new. That was after September 11th. A lot of this broader militarization of society happens after September 11th. It's not like from time immemorial. Good point. Let's go.
Everyone is looking back now at Kaepernick's protests from a few years ago, and obviously they were always about police brutality, and now it's coming back to the fore, and a lot of people expect that we will see players kneeling again if and when the NFL season starts. I'm curious how you think the NFL will and should respond to that, and of course, you're such a leader in the league. What is your responsibility as a leader in times like this for the rest of your teammates and players in the league?
Well, I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America or our country. Let me just tell you what I see or what I feel when the national anthem is played and when I look at the flag of the United States. I envision my two grandfathers who fought for this country during World War II, one in the Army and one in the Marine Corps, both risking their lives to protect our country and to try to make our country and this world a better place. So every time I stand with my hand over my heart, looking at that flag and singing the national anthem, that's what I think about. And in many cases, it brings me to tears, thinking about all that has been sacrificed, not just those in the military, but for that matter, those throughout the civil rights movements of the 60s and everyone and all that has been endured by so many people up until this point. And is everything right with our country right now? No, it's not. We still have a long way to go. But I think what you do by standing there and showing respect to the flag with your hand over your heart is it shows unity. It shows that we are all in this together. We can all do better, and that we are all part of the solution.
We can't have unity without unity. I really, really, really loathe the playing to correct human sentiments that we cannot get to without things radically changing. Like I talked about that police footage in Minnesota where the protesters that were getting arrested were having nice conversations with the police. And this, they were handling each other civilly. And this reporter was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Look at them cross these barriers. It's like, right. The way they get across these barriers is the cops uncuff them and turn in their badges. And then they can have this important human connection that we need to get to. But you can't get to that human connection without dismantling these structures. And then besides that, look, this is what the Pentagon put their money in for. This is the PR. This is why, the NFL has been involved in all sorts of spin. This is why they hired Jay-Z. This is why Goodell puts out a statement.
Yeah, we've moved beyond kneeling.
We have moved beyond kneeling. So Drew Brees should get involved with the civil rights movement of 2020.
Yep. He admits that we have a long way to go, but these people never say how we're supposed to go the rest of the way, right?
Right.
Like, do they think it's just a bunch of individual white people that need to do this personal work on themselves and then magically everything will be better? Like, how does he think change happens? People rise up against their oppressors and they demand what they haven't been getting.
Yeah. And he did an apology, which is fine as far as they go. We're not going to waste time on airing it. But another important point about this whole my dad served in World War II thing is like Black people served in the American Revolution, the Civil War, World War I, and World War II, and then came back to this shit. So it's unbelievable that people think that that's some sort of argument for it. There are people that had descendants fight in the American Revolution and got chased to Europe so that they didn't get captured as slaves. Like, I mean, that's what you should think about now.
That's what you should think about.
How about like what you were thinking about? Let's admit that was wrong, and what you should be thinking about is how that's a myth. We need, if we want to make that like we're all in this together world, which I agree, and I agree that if we like the civil rights protesters, those are Americans, and if we want to start defining that as Americans, let's do that. But let's project that onto the symbols, that struggle, not this thing of, my father fought the Nazis and now, Kaepernick should get his ass up.
Exactly.